Good evening and many thanks for joining us. I am Ansmane Sonyasi and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Here are the main news headlines. Gambia's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, His Excellency Omar Jibril Saleh, visited Gambian pilgrims in Mecca on Thursday with a message from President Barrow. The First Lady of the Gambia, Madam Fatoumata Barrow, inaugurated a newly built maternity private block at the Bundung Maternity and Child Hospital on Friday. The Finance Ministry has responded to concerns raised by the Teachers Union over unsettled school improvement grant payments. A renowned and inspirational Gambian educator, Al-Hassan Suso, winner of the New York State Teacher of the Year Award in 2019 among many awards, has launched an educational foundation. And in international news, QTV's Jennifer Sonko paid a visit to the Nairobi Children's Remand Center and Gaturu National Reception Assessment and Classification Center to see social protection for children at work. Stay tuned for more on these and other stories. Well, those were the main headlines, and now we take a look at the news in detail. Gambia's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, His Excellency Omar Jibril Saleh, visited Gambian pilgrims in Mecca on Thursday. A recent award to the Gambia by the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah in Saudi Arabia has recognized the Gambia as one of the best performing countries in addressing the needs of pilgrims. QTV's Babakar Sise is with Tuawan Travel and Tours, and he sent us this excerpt.
I came on behalf of His Excellency the President. Every year when the pilgrims come, I represent him to meet them. And after the pilgrimage, I always deliver a message of goodwill and also congratulate them for performing the Hajj and also for the Eid al-Adha celebrations, and also pray for them on behalf of HE the President, for them to return home very safely, meet their families safe, and also pray for the President and also for the country. As I said to them, the President is very concerned about their welfare. The message of His Excellency the President has always been that they should pray for their country, to their family, and ensure that whatever they do, they behave in such a peaceful way, because we have a very good relationship with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And he wished them well, and he has asked me to convey this message. This award actually came not as a surprise to us, but because the Amirul Hajj, the one who is leading the Hajj team and the managing director of the GIA, they have been in this job for quite a long time. And every country is allotted its quota, 2,000, and they have a platform, not only for the accommodation of the pilgrims, but also for the visa issuance and also for the flight arrangements. And these were very handled. They were handled very well by both the managing director of GIA and the Amirul Hajj, because they know how to use this platform before, and they ensured that we paid in time, both the tenants, we paid for the visa fees, we paid for the air tickets, and the slots given to the airlines were also respected. They came in time, and they are about to depart in time.
His Excellency Omar Jibril Saleh, the Gambia's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, speaking to QTV following his visit to Gambian pilgrims in Mecca. Now, the First Lady of the Gambia, Madam Fatoumata Barrow, inaugurated the newly built maternity private block at the Bundung Maternity and Child Hospital on Friday at the hospital grounds in Bundung. Loliam Kamara attended and filed this report.
The event brought together senior government officials, community members and staff of the hospital. As highlighted by officials of the hospital, this is the first ever maternity private block in a public facility and will provide Gambian women with top quality service throughout their reproductive health journey. The private maternity block is a self-contained structure of 15 beds, 3 single rooms, 5 shared rooms, 2 top-quality delivery rooms, an office for doctors and nurses, and an examination room, amongst other features. Dr. Dado Jabi, a specialist in obstetrics and gynecology and the focal person for the private block, states that as healthcare workers, their goal is to provide quality services regardless of the socio-economic background of their clients. Hence their slogan, Leaders in Healthcare in the Gambia, with an objective of zero maternal and neonatal mortality. Aji Amijata Bajangoh and Honorable Suleiman Jame, the NAM for Bundunka Kunda respectively, both recognize the need for and importance of the facility to the community. Research shows that women who receive good social support during labor and childbirth tend on average to have shorter labors, control their pain better, and have less need for medical intervention. So, having such a facility in one of the country's busiest hospitals will definitely add value. Mamadi Cham is the Chief Executive Officer of the Bundu Maternity and Child Hospital.
In August, the number of deliveries that occur in this hospital goes beyond 500 per month. On average, we have 473 per month and a minimum of 15 deliveries per day. So imagine you have a postnatal ward of 10 beds and having 15 women deliver a day, and the standard policy of the Minister of Health is every woman's post-delivery should stay for 24 hours. That is mathematically is not possible. So we need to find something.
Mr. Cham also thanked partners for their immense contributions towards building and finishing the new block. According to UN interagency estimates, from 2000 to 2020, the global maternal mortality ratio, MMR, declined by 34%, from 342 deaths to 223 deaths per 100,000 live births. Here is the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmadu Lamin Samate, on the country's current maternal status.
In maternal mortality in this country, it used to be 433 per 100,000 live births. The most recent survey, 2019-2020, put the figure down at 289 per 100,000 live births. Recent service statistics has even indicated a further reduction to about 179 per 100,000 live births. And we congratulate you all for all the hard work, because those figures originate from facilities like your own.
The First Lady, Fatoumata Barbaro, the special guest at the inauguration, said having such a modern facility in the country will help reduce maternal and neonatal deaths.
Efforts to attain of the Sustainable Development Goals relate to women and children. However, it's growing evidence that investing in women, neonatal and children had high returns to society and the economic by saving lives, reducing mobility and mortality, and improving well-being. Thus, the importance of investing in maternal and child health is critical to our quest in the nation's development agenda.
Globally, approximately 80% of maternal deaths are due to direct obstetric complications, sepsis, complications of abortion, and prolonged or obstetric labor. Officials are hopeful that this newly built maternity private block will add value to their service delivery and assist in the goal of reducing the negative statistics in this field of medical care. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Now, at a press conference at its headquarters on Thursday, the Gambia Teachers Union called on the government to pay the outstanding balance of the school improvement grant to schools, the delay of which is affecting the education system. The Ministry of Finance subsequently responded to the teachers' concerns. Alusisa reports.
The School Improvement Grant Initiative supports access to education, retention and completion, as well as reduces the burden of school cost and by extension enhances the country's human resource development. As a result, The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education abolished all levies in schools in September 2013 for lower basic schools, in 2014 for upper basic schools, and in September 2015 for senior secondary schools. However, Ismaila Cisse, president of the Gambia Teachers Union, told journalists that these important and highly needed payments are not being paid as agreed, which is affecting the operation of schools.
We want to see to it that education system is put on a sound footing. We want to see to it that teaching and learning in schools is being taken care of effectively and efficiently, so that at least the products that are coming from schools can at least get the right basic education needed.
Since 2018, the union said several engagements with the government have proved futile, leading things to worsen from the last academic year. According to SRSO, Deputy Secretary General of the Gambia Teachers Union, this has compelled the leadership of schools to pay finance from their resources and loans to run their schools.
As we speak right now, government, that is the Ministry of Finance, is yet to disburse the third term SIG that sums up to $15,110,516 is pending for term 3. Worst of all, the term 2 areas sum up to $26 million, $35,619. Textbooks, the money meant to buy textbooks, which is the most important teaching and learning resource, if you like. There is still a pending balance of $42,120,000.
We put the teachers' concern to Ibrahim S. Jallo, the information officer at the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. Mr. Jallo informed QTV that the Accountant General's department has confirmed to him that payments for the first and second term have been made, while the process to pay for the third term is on.
Okay, so the Accountant General's department has confirmed to me that they have paid first term and second term, and the only areas remaining is third term and the book bills. So this, they confirmed to me also, the process is ongoing. They have been waiting for cash allocation from the Directorate of Budget, which is now working on it. So inshallah, hopefully before the end of next week, all the cash allocation will be completed, and then the payment will be done as soon as possible. So as we are speaking, that's how things stand. So on that note, the Ministry of Finance has all school heads and GTU to be a little bit patient with us, and then everything will get sorted out as soon as possible.
The government said the grant is aimed at improving teaching and learning in schools. Education stakeholders hope that the issue is resolved to avoid further hindrance to effective learning. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
And from the report there by Aliou Cisse, we'll go for a commercial break. But when we return, we have a look at some more local and international news stories.
Inco Home Choice. Home Choice. Bagage bu baax mooy def liggéey bu baax te wóor te soo ko jëndee dina la yóbbu ci diir bu yàgg te du gaaw a yàqu. Inco Home Choice ñoo leen indil bépp xeetu bagage yi jumtuwaay yi ngeen mun a jëfandikoo ci seeni métier yi.
waaw ñun Inco fii leen di jëndee suñu bagage yi Inco lañ yombalee bagage yi dañ ko baax quality bagage lañ lay jaay moo tax ñun liggéey bu ñoo def electrical plumbing boo ko ji Inco fii leen lay ñëw Brikama ñu jënd suñu bagage ñu bàyyi ko ba ci Kustaan Serekunda fii waaye fii leen lay ñëwee bagage dina bagage lu waral loolu Inco dañ yombalee bagage number 1 number 2 seen bagage yi dañ baax dañ quality
bagage yu si mel ni power tools accessories bench tools generator yu baax welding machines ak small construction equipments muy bagage yu baax yi ngeen mën a jëfandikoo bu ngeen ay samp ay kër.
Because Inco mo fene dia bagage quality sa guarantee bi la bagage nyasa nimi sa tije ni ta famo min na Inco ma so to janga man Gambia janga ma so to folo den nga ñoo ma ko akolera ñaawo ñandi mbe nga wuli nga na inko nga bagaso san
seet si leen ñu si suñ maakaan yi nekk ci biir réew mi foofa sa Jinpex Kanifing Sukuta Jabang traffic light ak Birkama opposite Joko night club wala ngeen call ñu ci 532 5773 wala 341 7619 wala 739 8863 wala 303 9300 wala nga email ñu incogambia@gmail.com ak Inco Home Choice jafe-jafe ci wàllu bagage yi ngeen di jëfandikoo ci seen métier yi jeex na. Inco Home Choice. Inco Home Choice. Inco Home Choice.
For his kitchen, Prosper was thinking big. He therefore chose big new tiles. He then thought he'd also love a new stainless steel sink and a new mixer rack. And now that we're changing the sink, we might as well buy a new kitchen counter, right?
Oh yeah, I couldn't resist.
Good old Prosper.
And yes, that's Betty Mac Betty Days. Take advantage of exceptional discounts up to 50% on tile, sanitary, electrical, and lighting. From July 8th to 22nd, you will be splurging. Betty Mac, welcome home.
Welcome back. Following the commercial break, be reminded you're watching QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue, and I am Ansmane Nyasi. Now, a renowned and inspirational Gambian educator, Alhassan Suso, winner of New York State Teacher of the Year Award in 2019, among many awards, launched the Nami Foundation on Friday at the GTHI. Mahmoud Kajaga attended the event and he now reports.
The Nami Foundation is established, among other things, to support the following: uplifting the teaching profession, allowing vulnerable groups to have access to education and to ensure high-quality learning in the Gambia. A world-renowned teacher, educator, Alhassan Suso, is the brain behind the foundation. Suso has devoted his career to transforming the lives of young people facing difficulties. He was born in the Gambia and migrated to the United States of America aged 16. He says education should give people opportunities to reach their destiny.
So the Nami Foundation, the idea behind it is to repurpose and reimagine education in the Gambia. Obviously, as I have mentioned earlier, if we stand tall, it's because we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. We are not in any way, shape or form thinking that what we currently have in the Gambia is not sufficient. Our goal is to build on what has already been established. Because day in and day out, people are getting up and thinking about ways to make this country a better place for all of us, and we just want to contribute a small part to ensure that that happens. Okay? So that is basically what our foundation is about.
One of the country's renowned figures, Usainu Dabo, was the chief launcher of the Nami Foundation. He highlighted the importance of education, how it can transform lives. He added that quality education can only be achieved if the teachers find their profession attractive and have the right incentives to retain them.
The teaching profession of this country, the teachers in this country, they really need, their status need to be improved. We are not talking about material incentives. We're talking about incentives that will keep them on the work, incentives that will make them deliver.
The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, MOPSI, was represented at the launch by Alpha Ba, Director of Quality Assurance at MOPSI. He said NAMI Foundation has come at the right time.
It is coming at a time when the education sector policy is being reviewed at a midterm. It was developed in 2016 for 2030. But now we are in a midterm and we are right now reviewing the education sector policy.
The Acting Deputy Chief of Mission, U.S. Embassy Banjul, Kwasi Roman Datskir, says the United States has invested heavily in Gambia's education sector with the school feeding program.
As you may have seen, we recently launched a series of billboards, social media posts, and other messaging declaring the U.S. is here for education, we are here for you. We say these words not just as a slogan, because we have made a substantial investment in Gambian education. In fact, our partnership in this sector is greatly expanding.
One of the objectives of Nami Foundation is to provide access to quality education to vulnerable groups. The Gambia Association for the Visually Impaired, GOVI, were at the event and performed some songs and poems.
We cannot see, we cannot see, we cannot see, we cannot see, but we will come back.
A highly accomplished educator, public speaker, and author, Alhassan Suso is spearheading this foundation to support education in the Gambia to make a significant contribution which could transform teaching and learning in the country. Alhassan Suso was named the 2019 New York State Teacher of the Year and the New York State History Teacher in the same year, the 2020 Horan's Man Educator of the Year. In 2017, he was also named as one of the top 50 outstanding educators in the world by the Vaki Foundation's Global Teacher Prize. At the end of the lunch, Jelly Mariama, a griot, sing praise songs for the Suso family. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Now, the American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative concluded a 5-day capacity building workshop for justice sector personnel in the Gambia, culminating in a closing ceremony and a certification. Lena E. Igwenyiba reports.
This initiative seeks to enhance the knowledge of 40 participants, including state councils, prosecutors from the Ministry of Justice, judiciary representatives, legal staff from the National Agency for Legal Aid, and members of civil society organizations. The training focused on engaging and interacting with regional and international human rights treaties and mechanisms, such as the UN Human Rights Council and the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. Justice Charno S. Jallo, a justice of the Supreme Court of the Gambia, delivered a speech on behalf of the Chief Justice.
First, we must all work together to ensure a comprehensive justice system that properly and effectively tackles sexual and gender-based violence, organized crimes, and other violations of the law, especially those that affect the enjoyment of people's human rights. A key strategic plan of the judiciary is to create a platform that affords every citizen and resident access to justice whenever necessary. This is evident in the Honorable Chief Justice's plan of ensuring that all the regions of this country have resident judges and magistrates.
Saliu Tal, president of the Gambia Bar Association, expressed his belief that the training will enhance the knowledge of justice sector actors regarding specializing international legal instruments and mechanisms, equipping them with the necessary skills for their application in the Gambia.
Build our capacity as local lawyers and actors, not only lawyers and actors, to effectively engage with these mechanisms. And these mechanisms really play a critical role in upholding and promoting human rights at the regional level. By building the capacity of the different justice sector actors, they are able to better effectively engage in this mechanism.
Hannatu Kaba, human rights advisor of the American Bar Association, read a statement on behalf of the Promoting Rights and Justice Project in the Gambia, a 5-year project co-implemented by the American Bar Association, Rule of Law Initiative, and Freedom House.
It is the hope of this project, Promoting Rights and Justice in the Gambia, that this training can be the start of positive and dynamic change. This week presents an opportunity not just to learn, but to build on skills and relationships, critical to bringing about new approaches to the problems communities face in accessing justice, understanding their rights, and resolving conflicts.
The American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative began its operations in the Gambia in 2021 and has implemented 2 projects, Promoting Rights and Justice Project in the Gambia and Support to Gambian Justice Sector to pursue justice and accountability. These initiatives demonstrate the commitment to strengthening the justice system and upholding human rights in the Gambia. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena E. Gwenyiba.
And now on to international news in a moment. Now, social protection is important for children, given their high vulnerabilities. QTV's Jennifer Sonko looks at how this works in Kenya through a visit to the Nairobi Children's Remand Center and Getahuru National Reception, Assessment and Classification Center.
The Nairobi Children's Remand Center and Gitanduru National Reception, Assessment and Classification Center are for children awaiting judgment in cases of murder, theft amongst others, and children from broken homes. These institutions provide children with skills to complement the work done by prison counselors and welfare officers respectively. According to UNICEF, children face much higher odds of living in poverty than adults. Half of people living in multidimensional poverty measures and deprivation that go beyond income are children. This in so many ways affects children's well-being in all aspects, leading them to very unfortunate situations. We engaged the managers of both the Nairobi Children Remand Center and Gitanduru National Reception, Assessment and Classification Center.
Remember, these children are coming in with a number of issues. Others are traumatized. Others, they have gone through things which if we don't cover through counseling, if we don't unravel through counseling, then we may end up not knowing a lot from them. So counseling, we do both individual counseling sessions with them, we do group counseling sessions with them. For those ones who are lucky enough to be visited by the parents or guardians while they're here, we also do family counseling sessions. Because remember, we are relying on the hard copy documents that accompany them here and the information we get from them. But when they are visited, we are also able to, cross-check, corroborate the information in the hard copy documents and the information we get from the child to ascertain the truth.
Children who are in need of care and protection, like 80% go back home, 20% can go to charitable children institutions. And if children who are in conflict with the law, for the children who are in conflict with the law, they can either be released by court by paying fines, or they can transition to rehabilitation school or probation hostels or both two institutions, depending on who was handling the cases.
To put an end to all the challenges mentioned, policies should be designed and implemented with children in mind before the damage has been done. This will ensure significant improvement in educational attainment, healthcare access, adequate nutrition, and reduction in risk of abuse, exploitation, and negligence. Malang Jawa, Communications Officer at the Gambia Social Protection Secretariat, was part of the team visiting the institutions from the Kenya School of Government.
It is great being here, and we have learned as much as possible. The system in Kenya is good, that we will want to also practice back home. This will be part of our report, that children need this kind of supports. Here we have seen children in conflict with the law have been given different stages of support, and this support has a big impact in their life, and we hope that these things are also mirrored back in our homes.
According to UNICEF, social protection coverage rates vary significantly according to regions. In high-income countries, more than 9 out of 10 children receive benefits. In Africa, only 16% of all children are covered by social protection. Reporting for QTV News from Nairobi, Kenya, I am Jennifer Sonko.
And from the report there by Jennifer Sonko, I'm afraid this is where we draw the curtains on this bulletin. On behalf of the entire production team, thanks for watching. Do join us tomorrow for another bulletin. Thank you.